Hello and welcome to section 4.5. This will be the last section of chapter 4 and probability theory. In this section we're going to combine the probability techniques of the first two and the counting techniques of the last sections into one nice little ball of probability. Um, so we're going to use the basic counting rules to calculate probabilities. In this section, we'll look at counting problems that have more complicated solutions than just one over the total number of possibilities. A helpful trick for these problems is to look for certain key terms. The key terms are important because they define the method to be used to find the correct answer. Words to look for include at least, at most, greater than, less than, between, etc. So here we'll start out with a nice little example. A group of 12 tourists is visiting London. At one particular museum, a discounted admission is given to groups of at least 10. So A, how many combinations of tourists can be made for the museum visit so that the group receives the discounted rate? In other words, we want to find the number of ways of having 10 and 11 and 12 chosen out of that group of 12. And B, suppose that a group of tourists does get the discount. What's the probability it was made up of 11 tourists? In other words, in A, we got the total number of ways that you can get the discount, and now we're given that they got the discount. What's the probability that it was made up of 11? So here's the solution. Keywords in this problem are at least. So if at least 10 are required, then the group that gets the discount has to be 10, 11, or 12. Now we calculate the number of combinations to get 10, number of combinations to get 11, and number of combinations to get 12. Then add them together. And notice that these are combinations because we aren't putting the tourists in any line. We're just getting groups of those tourists. So here's how to get the group of 10 tourists. It's 12 choose 10, group of 11, 12 choose 11. Remember that 12, by the way. And 12 choose 12, which is just 1. As we know, the question implies that the group will get a discount if 10, 11, or 12. So the number of ways is just the sum of those, 66 plus 12 plus 1. So there are 79 ways that this group can get that discount. Now B, we need to calculate this probability. So we're given the group received the discount. What's the probability that it's a group of 11? So the numerator is going to be the number of ways of getting groups of 11, and the denominator is going to be the number of ways of getting the discount. Well, we've already figured that ways of getting a discount is 79, and we figured out the ways of getting a group of 11 is 12, so the probability is going to be 12 over 79. Jack is setting a password on his computer. He's told that his password must contain at least 3, but no more than 5 characters. He may use either letters or numbers. At least 3, but no more than 5 characters. Wow. So A, how many different possibilities are there for his password if each character can only be used once? Notice that this is without replacement. And then suppose that Jack's computer randomly sets his password using all the restrictions given above. What's the probability that his password is an arrangement of the letters in his name? Jack. So here's the solution for A. It's got to be at least and no more. Those are some key words there. At least 3, no more than 5. So it's got to be 3, 4, or 5. So we got to count the number of ways that you can get 3, the number of ways you can get 4, and the number of ways you can get 5. The order of characters is important, so this will be permutations. There's 36 characters to choose from, 26 letters, 10 digits. So here's the calculation for 3. It's 36 permute 3. For 4 characters, it's 36 permute 4. And for 5 characters, it's 36 permute 5. So the total number of possible passwords is just the sum of those, which is about 46.7 million possibilities. To find the probability of a randomly chosen password would include only the 4 letters from Jack's name. Find the we use the number from part A as the denominator. That's the n of s. That's our sample space. To find the numerator, the number of ways you can get the event, calculate the number of permutations of 4 from a set of 4. Four is just 4 factorial, which is 24. So the actual probability is that 24 divided by the total number of possible passwords. So it's rather small. Now the way that they calculated this is, never mind. It's n of e divided by n of s. We don't need to know what e and s are except into calculating what n of e and n of s are. Tina is packing her suitcase to go on a weekend trip. She wants to pack 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, and 2 pairs of shoes. She has 9 shirts, 5 pants, and 4 pairs of shoes to choose from. How many ways can Tina pack her suitcase? We do need to assume that everything matches, which means that we are in the independent realm. This will be 9 choose 3, times 5 choose 2, times 4 choose 2. Because in the 9 shirts, she's choosing 3. Of the 5 pairs of pants, she's choosing 2. And of the 4 pairs of shoes, she's also choosing 2. So there's the number of ways that she can select her shirts, number of ways that she can get her pants, and number of ways she can get her shoes. So the total number of ways from the fundamental counting principle is just that product, 84 times 10 times 6. I do want to emphasize the word and here implies multiply. It's and being you have to choose this and choose those pants and choose those shoes. In probability, or indicates adding, and indicates multiplying. And here's an interesting little drawing that might help see this. Shirts, pants, shoes. They're independent of each other because we specified everything matches. There's 84 ways of getting her shirts, 10 of her pants, 6 of her shoes. So by the fundamental counting principle, it's just the product of those. An elementary school principal is putting together a committee of 6 teachers, to head up the Springs Festival. There are 8 first grade, 9 second grade, and 7 third grade teachers at the school. How many ways can the committee be formed? Notice we're not specifying that the committee has to contain a certain number of any of the grades. There's 8, 17, 24 teachers altogether, so the number of ways the committee can be formed is just 24 choose 6. How many ways can the committee be formed if there must be 2 teachers chosen from each grade? It's going to be 8 choose 2 times 9 choose 2 times 7 choose 2 for the same reason of Tina's suitcase. And suppose the committee is chosen at random with no restrictions, so we're in the case of A. What's the probability that 2 teachers from each grade are represented? So the denominator, the bottom, is going to be A, and the top is going to be B. Because A is the number of possible outcomes, and B is going to be the number of possible outcomes in the event. "24 choose 6. 8 choose 2 times 9 choose 2 times 7 choose 2. And then the probability will just be this 21,168 divided by the total number n of s of 134,596. So even if you're not focusing on making sure that the committee consists of 2 first grader teachers, 2 second grade teachers, 2 third grade teachers, there's still a 15.73% chance that it's going to happen naturally, just out of randomness. And that's it. Notice how this section took all of our combinations and permutation stuff and used it to calculate probabilities of events. And it comes back to n of e divided by n of s. Of course, we are assuming independence and all of those outcomes are equally likely. But it's n of e over n of s. N of e over n of s. And that's it. The end of chapter 4. The next lecture will be on specific probability distributions and things that we can do with discrete distributions. So stay tuned.